Hello, my name is Ilona and I'm doing a recap of my life. I just finished. Last week was a disaster. I was thrown off the internet a couple of times. Now I used a cable, good old-fashioned cable, and it worked out fine. So I've got a few questions here. And first of all, the question was about Shell, which is of course a big company, big oil company. Well, there are some issues now. They are actually leaving the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken, and heading to a country where they have to pay a lot more taxes. So that's interesting. And they want to get rid of all the fuel stations. So they really want to focus on the electric cars. So only those recharges and things like that. Interesting. So what did I get for their cards? We've got these three. This was very interesting. We've got the Queen of Swords, the Empress, and the Three of Cups. So to me it feels like there's already changes being made there. I think that company is already completely changing, and that's why things are now focused. I think we're moving away from this. It wouldn't surprise me if the names will be changed. And I actually saw in the chat later on, after I did this card reading, somebody mentioned that a certain part of Shell has changed their names here in the Netherlands as well. So this is very interesting. New energy is coming in there. It's really already changing. So Shell is already changing from the inside out. Most likely with the female influence that is actually taking care of that. So I do believe that in Shell and in a lot of large companies that things are already changing. That's the feeling I'm getting. Second question was about these deep fakes. You know, we have now in the Netherlands this issue with all these famous Dutch people. Nobody knows outside of the Netherlands, maybe a few people. But they're being used in all kinds of videos and it's now coming out and it's a big issue. It felt to me, so when I was shuffling the cards and I was talking about this to the chat, that this is to show people that this is possible and that this is most likely already been happening for a very long time, but people need to see it. It's like sowing a seed. And I've got a yes on that one. I've got the Queen of Cups. I've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a yes. And we're moving away from this. But this is to show people. That's why it's so in the media. That's why people need to see it. Just like with the Neuralink that I've mentioned in my video this morning from Elon Musk. People need to understand transhumanism. And they can only understand it in, parts and little pieces. So they can wrap their heads around this. So this is very interesting. So to me, this was really to show people. And I think that this will be happening in other countries as well. Not just the Netherlands, because those videos are all around the world. If I'm not mistaken, Taylor Swift had issues with those videos as well. So I think that's purposely done to show people that this is possible. The third question was about Great Britain. We've talked about this in the chat as well, but of course, Kate and Charlie. Someone mentioned most likely that Kate's been replaced and the replacement was a bit of an issue with that. We'll have to wait and see. We know there's something up there, and the cards I've got is this Two of Wands, High Priest, and the Five of Wands. So to me, there are issues. It has to do with the dark energy. So it's most likely with the royal family. Wouldn't surprise me if something is going to come out about Charles, by Charlie. That's the feeling I'm getting, but they still don't know how to do it. And someone mentioned in the chat, see of course if it resonates with you, that most likely he's already gone, but they don't know how to, bring it out in the public. It's a possibility, but there's a struggle, there's an issue how to bring something out, how to announce it, how to bring it out. So something's going to happen there. So this is the energy I'm getting. And I think it is connected to Charles and not even to Kate. I'm not even sure how that's going to work out, but that's the feeling I'm getting. We'll of course have to wait and see what's going to be publicly announced. But apparently there's some issues in bringing it out to the public. And let's see. I had a few similar cards. This card and this card. Next question was about elephants in Africa. Very interesting. A lot of elephants are taking off, fleeing certain parts. And someone was asking me if this has to do with earthquakes, what's going on. Obviously, animals sense things. They have a lot, it's a lot better equipped to sense things. So if animals go to higher ground, follow them. They usually feel if something is going to happen or some disaster is going to take place. Always look at the animals. Well, we've got the Five of Wands, the Empress, and the Ten of Pentacles. To me, it feels like, yes, things are going to happen. And it's from Mother Earth. That's the feeling I'm getting. She is changing her energies, she's raising her vibration. So all these old energies need to be removed. It needs to be transformed. So there are going to be issues, but ultimately it will lead to a new stability, a new balance. And maybe it will not be as awful as it may seem at first. I'm not sure about that, but that's the feeling I'm getting. We'll of course have to wait and see, but things are happening there as well, especially with the Five of Wands. But this is from Mother Earth themselves. I know there are a lot of people are talking about this weather manipulation and HAARP, and I understand it fully. To me, it feels like Mother Nature is also, Mother Earth is changing, and that has a reaction as well. Maybe not everything, but she's certainly changing in all kinds of ways, and that will have an effect on us and, of course, on the Earth. So that's that question. Question about the Pope. What is going on with the Pope? Interesting question. I got some interesting cards. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, we've got the Devil card, and we have the Knight of Wands. So to me this feels like showing these dark energies. This is about karmic. This is situations are being brought up, things are being put in motion. And I believe the Whiteheads are in control of the Pope. I do believe that. I believe he's probably been replaced. It doesn't really matter because people still see him as the Pope. And it's really about what the public views and sees. But this is really bringing out all these energies, these dark energies, and the Whiteheads are behind it. That's the feeling I'm getting. I don't think he's going to be there for long. There was some discussion in the chat at that moment in time. Most likely he will probably, do Easter, and then he's probably going to leave the stage. And it wouldn't surprise me because you have to realize that people are, psychologically focused on for a lot of people, the Pope is incredibly important. So you can't just take all this information, what a lot of us know, just put it out there. People won't be able to handle it. So you have to bring it then in dosage and let things also work out. So I think that's most likely Easter, and then we'll have to kind of watch what's going to happen next with the Pope. Let's see. The Olympic Games. To be very honest, I'm not even sure when they were going to take place. I had to ask my chat that. But the Olympic Games, this is of course what I'm feeling now. Are they going to continue or not? And I got first these two cards, the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. To me it feels like, well, this is most likely going to continue. And then I had the Tower. So if it is, it's going to be in another form, or something will happen to it, or it's something, this is like falling apart. And then I saw actually a chat later on after I did this card reading that said that because of safety measures, they're going to narrow down the beginning ceremony. And that is already very interesting. So I think we're probably going to see it, but it's going to be in another form than what we're used to. And maybe things will come out because with the Olympic Games, let's just say, a lot of things will come out, especially if you look back at all these ceremonies and all these things happening. But it's interesting that they've already shortened the first ceremony because of safety issues. So something's going to happen there as well. If it continues, I think it's in July. Someone mentioned July 26th until August. Not really sure of that date, but somewhere near in there, something can happen. Something drastic can happen. So we'll have to wait and see. And of course, I will look at the energies at that time because things do change energetically wise. Let's see. Poland. Very interesting. Someone asked me about Poland. In Poland, the farmers been really working hard for months now in Poland. So they're not backing down. They are just standing strong. And the energy is the Six of Cups. So children will come out of Poland as well. We've got the Death card. The old is falling apart, but we're not going to see immediately what is going on. It will take time. So I'm very happy that the farmers continue. They've been doing that for months now. Really standing their ground, not giving in. But we're not going to see immediately results. But the Death card is that things will fall apart there as well. And children. Things with children will come out of Poland as well. Interesting. So let's see. This is the last question that was very interesting. In Ethiopia, I didn't even know, but there was apparently money coming out of these. What's their name again? Oh my God, it's late, and I've already did a chat for an hour. So where you tap the money. When you get your money from the what is it called? My goodness. Let's see. Oh, it's the ATM. The ATM. So they just got money from the ATM and they didn't have to return it. So this was very, very interesting. So someone was asking me, what was this about? Because there were a lot of money came out of it. So a lot of people just received money and they didn't have to return it. That was very interesting. So the cards I've got was, first of all, the Four of Cups. Then I had a Devil card. So the dark energies weren't very happy with this. But this is most likely done by the Whiteheads, the Six of Wands, showing them that they are in control of that as well. So this was a victory for the Whiteheads. And obviously the dark energies weren't very happy with it, but they weren't capable of returning that money or managing to find ways how to get that money back. So the people that received that money, their money is theirs now. So this is very interesting to see. Made me smile, actually. And last was the card I just pulled for people that were watching the chat. And this, of course, for the people that are watching this video. Wheel of Fortune. This is about bringing things in motion. We're seeing karmic things now around us. Things are so obvious now. Things in ourselves are being triggered. So we really are in a very transformative time. In a time of changes. Things are moving. I see it as moving in a positive direction. So much is happening, so that's the card for every one of us right now. We are really going through it. I feel like we really are in a, in a fast-going train, and we'll have to wait and see. There were some people wondering when it's going to end, if this is going to end before summer. I don't think it's going to be that easily done, like that everything's going to be end by the summer. Someone mentioned 2026, that's a possibility. I do believe a lot has already changed before that time, but the times, it's going so fast. What is 2026? If I just look back at 2023, it went by in a flash. Like it's just a second, and we're already halfway March. And I just remembered, the first day of 2024, and it's like it was yesterday. It's just think about it. It's just going so fast. So I'd like to leave this. Hope to see you in another video. Bye.